Hey everybody, this is TJR. Back when I made my video that examined the differences between Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven and Taurus by Spirit, I kept getting the same comment over and over and over again. That comment was, you can't copyright a chord progression. Many people felt that the lawsuit had no merit because it was, after all, just a chord progression, an A minor with a descending bass line. Recently, while making my video in regards to the copyright allegations by Radiohead against Lana Del Rey, I made the same comment, you can't copyright a chord progression. I feel I need to clarify that comment. By and large, I would say that comment is correct. You can't copyright a chord progression. After all, there are hundreds of songs in the genre of rock, blues, and country that use this chord progression right here. This is a standard 1-4-5 progression. It's been used in hundreds and hundreds of songs. I use this chord progression in a song that I released on my third album, a song entitled One Summer Morning. It goes like this. Woke up one summer morning, found a little puppy tent in my bed. I said, how did this get here? And this is what she said. She said, baby, you've been lonely for too long. Well, it's only been since last night since we sang this little song. The defining factor is what you bring to that chord progression, what little nuances you add. Maybe you find little ways to change it up. Maybe you find subtle ways or radical ways to do this. But most importantly, that your lyrics and your melody are hopefully very unique. There are also specific rhythms as well as chord progressions that have been used countless times in numerous songs. Here's one. This rhythm is referred to as the Bo Diddley beat. Many people attribute the origination of that rhythm to Bo Diddley. However, it's been used in hundreds of songs since. Here's another one you might recognize. I remember the first time I heard that rhythm was the same time that a lot of people of my generation did. We heard ZZ Top do it in LaGrange and we thought, oh, that's cool sounding. We didn't realize that ZZ Top did not originate that rhythm or that chord progression. Other blues artists had used it previously, and other rock artists had used it too. The Rolling Stones have used it. It was recently used in the song Baby Did a Bad Bad Thing. Well, maybe not that recently. But these rhythms, these progressions get used over and over again. Nobody really has a copyright on them. Too many people have done their own spin on it now, and there's really kind of no way you can copyright that. Once again, what you have to bring to it is your lyrics and your melodies, and maybe you bring something new to the table musically to add a little twist or spin on it. So having said all this, it probably feels pretty secure saying that you can't copyright a chord progression. Or can you? I'm going to play you a song I've just written here. Tell me what you think of it. I wrote that. What do you think? Who? Deep Purple? No. You can't copyright a chord progression. I wrote this. This is my own original song. This opening to Smoke on the Water that I just played is a chord progression for all intents and purposes. But it's also a melody. It's also incredibly distinctive. And I didn't even play it the way that Ritchie Blackmore plays it. I realize this, but that doesn't make a difference. It's still obvious what it is when I play it. It's about the phrasing. If I were to release this, Purple, the songwriters of that song would have every right to take me to court and just, sue the hell out of me. I would have to be beyond stupid and beyond any kind of arrogance to actually release something with that progression and try to pretend like I wrote it, try to claim that I wrote it. Because we all know that that's Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. But trust me, in this world there are people who will be that stupid and who will be that arrogant and who will no doubt try to do that and say that it's theirs. Think Vanilla Ice with Ice Ice Baby. He tried to say that he didn't rip it off from Queen because he added one extra bass note. Queen took him to court, Queen won. Thank goodness. Back when I made the Led Zeppelin versus Spirit video, many people brought up other songs that had an A minor chord with a descending bass line, like Chim Chimney Chim Chim Chiroo, Michelle by the Beatles, and said, well, those songs use that chord progression. How come they're not suing them? Well, those songs sound nothing like Stairway to Heaven or like Spirit, or Taurus, I should say. Those songs use an A minor with a descending bass line, but they're played completely differently. They sound nothing alike. And there's a big difference between the chord progression and how you play it. Case in point, Smoke on the Water by Deep Purple. It is, as I've played it, a G to a B flat to a C chord. At its base, that's what it is, G, B flat, C. But you could play G, B flat, and C 100 ways, I just use the same chords, I just did it differently. When I did the post on Radiohead versus Lana Del Rey, someone commented and said, unless the melodies are exactly the same, it shouldn't be infringement because you can't copyright a chord progression. Well, then I should be able to play this and just put different melody over it and different lyrics. That would never fly. So I suppose, for the most part, you can't copyright a chord progression, but there's always going to be exceptions to that rule. And that's the thing about music copyright. It's not a hard, rigid set of rules. It's very elastic. And quite frankly, it has to be, because we're always going to encounter situations that we never expected. So the laws regarding this have to be flexible. This means that we will get ridiculous lawsuits from time to time. But that's the price we have to pay in order for artists to be able to protect their work. And when you are a musician, songwriter, musical artist, your copyright is one of the few rights you have in this world, and I'll probably get into that more in another video. You may have noticed I labeled this Part 1, and I did that because I have a feeling I'm going to get a lot of comments and people saying, well, what about this situation, or what about that situation? And I welcome these comments. I really want to hear what you have to say, and if I hear some really good challenges, I'm definitely going to want to address those, not only in the comments, but even in maybe other videos. So maybe we'll see a Part 2 or Part 3 of this series, You Can't Copyright a Chord Progression. And maybe we'll even go beyond that as far as other aspects of music copyright, like, would this be considered plagiarism? What about this? Would this be considered plagiarism? So please leave your arguments in the comments. I really want to hear what you have to say. Everybody, this is TJR. Thank you so much for watching. As always, please subscribe to the channel. And if you do subscribe, be sure to click notifications so you can know when I make new videos. Thanks, everyone.